Hey everybody, today we're going to be learning about the flick throw and go. This is actually one of the hardest kind of basic throws. The aim of it is to get the disc out of your hands and get the disc back in your hands, or get yourself away from your defender very, very quickly. Okay, so a normal flick, you step out, you pivot, you release, and you're kind of flat-footed after you release. But with a flick throw and go, you should be leaning into the throw, so that then as it comes out of your hand, you're actually like leaning forwards, you're leaning towards where you want to be going already. Okay, so the trick with this, if you throw it with your right foot on the ground, so if you put your foot down there and then you throw and go, then it's actually too close to a travel to be useful. If my normal technique, if I'm like running around, throwing it in the disc back and running out of all my throws, people are going to be looking quite closely at your feet. So if I do a throw like this, where I'm kind of running as I'm releasing it, then that's going to bring in quite a few travel calls, and you really don't want them to happen. It's not worth kind of that risk. So the way to get rid of those calls is to actually develop a technique whereby you're releasing the disc with your non-pivot foot off the ground, okay? So all your weight's on your left foot, your right foot, if you're right-handed, is off the ground as you release, okay? Then when people are watching you, it will trigger in their minds that can't really be a travel. As soon as that foot goes down, you just don't know whether this foot's lifting up, right? Because it's like very, very kind of quick, a 1-2 kind of motion. So if you're able to develop a technique so that then you're throwing as that foot's in the air, then it's far less likely that travel will be called. So how do you learn it then is the question. A good starting point is just to stand on your left foot, right? This is your pivot foot, so it's good to be able to throw many throws from just having that pivot foot down, not relying on balance coming from your other foot, okay? So start on one foot and just throw some flicks, okay? That's the beginning of the technique. Getting good at the one-legged, right foot up, hovering flick technique. Once you're comfortable standing on your left foot and throwing the flicks, then you want to progress it up to actually accelerating out of the throw. So you can do this just by leaning into the throw, okay? So I got that foot up, I'm leaning forwards, and then I'm releasing the disc just before I have to put my right foot forwards and start running out to keep my balance. This lean and throw technique is good because you begin your body's forward momentum before the disc is released to your hand. By keeping the foot up means that forward momentum doesn't look like it's a travel. So it's the best of both worlds. Now you could just stop there. Just having the lean into throw and go flick is a good technique. Being in the neutral position, having a force on, forcing your flick, seeing an open option, lifting up that foot, leaning into it and throwing, and then running is good, right? You will get free of your defender by doing that and be able to get the disc back in your hands quickly. A better thing, the next level then, is to actually get more momentum happening with your body before that disc is released. Now you don't want to do this by adding it on the end, right? Like if you're like, okay, well, how about if I step forward into it and then release and then lift that foot up? That's just pushing it towards travel territory, okay? Like the closer you get towards that, the closer you are to traveling, and so therefore the more likely anyone's going to call travel, okay? You don't even need to actually travel for it to look like a travel and therefore to be called. And that's the end, you know, like that's as good as traveling. That's like, there's no point in developing a technique which will be stopped by travel calls. So we add the momentum in before the release, yeah, before this foot comes down, so that we're not pushing up to this line here and getting the disc out as that comes up, right? We're actually getting more momentum in from behind going into it, okay? So instead of just starting neutral and leaning forward into it, or on one leg and leaning into it, we're actually going to take a half step back, okay? And this means then we're able to then swing forward into the throw, all right? Now, it's a very hard throw because this isn't the same technique that you use for flicks, right? Normally you're stepping out and you're getting the throw off like that, okay? Balance flat feet. But in this one, you're actually coming forward like this and going through it, okay? And it looks pretty weird because it is, all right? But it's how you can get much more acceleration. You know, I see the option on the open side, I take the half step back, and then I'm going forward immediately, giving myself that extra half step to get some momentum up, get some acceleration going on. Once you've practiced having that half step back, leaning in and throwing while your right foot's still in the air and running out the throw, then the last thing to bring into it, to complete it, is having a catch as well, because you want to be doing this ideally on stall 0. So do this when you're chucking around, or do it yourself. You can toss the disc up to yourself, or you can have someone throw to you, and you want to catch it on the way and then release the flick as you go. Okay, so the flick throw and go is a difficult throw. Is it worth learning? Well, you can, a lot of the time the force is flick, and if you're able to throw and then get into a position to get the disc back in your hands, it's a great way to set up either a huck, get yourself into power position, or to just get flow going amongst your team. So it is useful to be able to run out of throws on the backhand side and on the other side. The flick throw and go feels weird, right? And it's because of the mechanics. So when you're running, it's the opposite leg and the opposite arm which are forward, okay? They go forward at the same time on different sides of the body, all right? You don't kind of run like this, all right? And when you're doing the flick, the arm is coming forward, but you kind of then therefore want the right leg to, or the left leg to be going forward at the same time. And so what ends up happening, because it's the right leg coming forward, is that you end up like bending over on one side, okay? So the mechanics is messed up, all right, for the flick throw and go. But everyone's got the flick mechanic isolated, or, you know, if you're able to isolate it from the footwork, then you've kind of got two pieces you can just put together, all right, and it will work. And it won't be like absolutely perfect mechanically, but it will work and it will be effective, okay? What's better is the offhand throw and go, okay? Because with the offhand, then you're going forward with your left arm and forward with your right leg at the same time, okay? So those mechanics match up. You can then smoothly go from left arm forward and right arm forward, then into a smooth running motion, okay? I'm bringing my left arm forward and my right leg forward at the same time, and I'm just going straight into the run from there. So flick throw and go is a tricky throw, but you can use your existing flick technique and like bolt it onto just some throw and go footwork. The offhand backhand throw and go, technically better mechanics, but a lot of players don't have the same accuracy, consistency with their offhand, and so kind of bolting on the flick, even though the mechanics are a bit screwed, tends to be the favorable option for most players. If you're a new player and you want to learn to be like technically perfect, then get really good with your offhand, okay? Because situations like this mean that you can actually do the mechanically sound thing, and if you're able to do it reliably, then yeah, you're going to be able to achieve higher levels than players that have to bolt on the flick technique with the throw and go footwork. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I say, it's a bit of a tricky throw, but if you're able to do it in a game and accelerate away from your mark as you release the disc, then it can be really beneficial, and you can get the disc back nice and quick, get the flow going, set yourself up in power position. It's just a really, really valuable technique to have, especially if you're playing at the level where most of the time you're going to be force flick. You don't want that always to be like a throw and then you're out of the play. You kind of want to throw and be able to stay in the play, okay? You do that by keeping that right foot up off the ground, right? That's the main thing that I kind of focus on, whether it's swinging forward or whether it's out in front of you like this just before you release. Both are good and makes it very, very unlikely you would get cool travel for it. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you again soon.